All right, so today's topic is going to be why your hunger levels are lying to you. So, most people think that if they are hungry, that means that their body needs food, but in reality, hunger is one of the least reliable signals when it comes to managing your weight loss, energy, and fat loss progress. So there are three main drivers of hunger. You have hormonal, blood sugar, and habit driven, and maybe even a bonus at the end. So let's start off with number one, our hormonal hunger signals. So hormonal hunger is driven by two key hormones. You have ghrelin and you have leptin. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone, tells your body, hey, I'm hungry. And then you have leptin that says, hey, I'm full, right? When you're in a calorie deficit, under stress, or even sleep deprived, these signals get disrupted, get all kinds of messed up, and they go haywire. That disruption makes you feel hunger and even less satisfied, even though that you're eating enough food. Now, if ghrelin increases, which keep in mind is our hunger hormone, ghrelin increases, more hunger, right? If leptin, our fullness hormone, decreases, lower fuller lower fullness signals. Sorry. So it's kind of like as the ghrelin goes up, hunger is going to increase, and as leptin decreases, those fullness signals are going to go down. So it's kind of burning the candle at both ends. And then if you throw in a lack of sleep, which is going to add kind of fuel to the fire, make that hunger even more elevated, add on chronic stress, more cravings, and then if you've just been long-term dieting, disrupted appetite regulation. So all of these combined are going to make up your hormonal hunger signals. So that's number one. Now let's move into the blood sugar hunger signals. So blood sugar hunger is that crash that you feel after a quick spike from sugar or a refined carbs. So you get done working out, you feel lightheaded, you feel flushed, and you're like, man, I need something to eat right now. It's not that you need food; it's just that your blood sugar dropped out too fast, triggering cravings and false hunger, essentially. This roller coaster effect keeps you reaching for snacks, even if you just ate. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be, that your blood sugar completely crashes out. It could be the nor you know the normal spikes and dips during the day, which then kind of prolongs that hunger signaling throughout the day. Again, that hunger roller coaster effect, if you will. So, any like high sugar foods or refined carb foods, it causes a blood sugar spike, insulin surge, rapid blood sugar crash. And what we're referring to crash, we're talking about hunger, cravings, shakiness, just like you've been flushed, right? Your blood sugar has dropped. You feel the cold sweats coming on. You feel lightheaded, hunger, a little bit shaky, right? And then if you also, kind of keeping on the same token with the blood sugar hunger, constant grazing. I like to call grazing snacking, right? Like a cow grazes, they're constantly eating all day, they're grazing all day. That keeps insulin high and hunger pretty unstable. Now, to fix this, eat 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal. Make sure that you have some slow digesting carbs in that meal too, such as oats, rice, sweet potatoes. Also include some healthy fats. Healthy fats are going to slow digestion down. So, if you're having a meal that's just protein and just carbs, typically what that's going to do is it's going to get processed fairly quickly. But if you throw in some fats in there, it's going to slow digestion down, and it's also going to blunt that spike as well too. Avoid naked carbs. Don't eat sugar and starch alone. That's why, if you're just having cereal for your post-workout meal, make sure that there's a protein shake in there somewhere and a little bit of fat, right? We don't want just straight carbohydrate because it's going to cause a spike in insulin and then eventually lead to a crash. And once your blood sugar is stable, hunger stops controlling you, essentially. Now, the third one is going to be habitual hunger. Habitual hunger isn't real hunger, it's a learned behavior that your brain repeats out of routine. You always feel hungry because you always eat at that certain time or that certain place, not because that your body actually needs food. This is mainly dopamine driven and ties to cues like, it's dinner time, walking into the kitchen, It's 12 noon, right? That's lunchtime, right? Again, 12 noon, lunchtime, 9 p.m. Let's go get a bedtime snack as we're watching Netflix. After dinner, dessert time. All this is triggered from dopamine. And it's mainly from the routine, not the food, right? Like if you go to Sam's Club and you know that after you get done shopping at Sam's Club, you're going to stop by and grab a Coke and a slice of pizza, and you do it every single time. Probably, after you do this several times, your body is going to get used to. All right, yeah, we're at Sam's now. We're probably going to have something to eat, a pizza and a Coke after we get done shopping, right? This is not your body telling you, hey, I am hungry, I need food. This is habitual hunger. It's just out of routine. It's a learned habit. And how do we break this? You force it. You just have to. You delay the habit. If you typically eat a snack at 2 p.m. and you want to crush that and stop doing that at 2 p.m., push snack time back and then just completely remove it. If you have a snack at 2 and you eat at 5 p.m., well, then just cut the snack out completely. Or even, push it back to 3 p.m. one week and then the next week 4 p.m. and then the week after, completely remove it because then it's dinner time, right? Replace that cue with something else. So if it's time to uh, get a snack and it's, I don't know, 7 p.m., right? It's after dinner time. Instead of doing that set cue at that certain time after that set habit, get up and go for a walk, have a glass of water, a non-reward food, essentially. Do something in place of that set cue that's going to lead to or add to that habitual hunger. You know, and then if needed, and you absolutely need something, always choose protein over any kind of sugary carbohydrate, anything like that. I mean, you can't go wrong with protein if you're going to choose protein over sugar, any kind of processed carbs, any day of the week. And then, another one is just to make sure that all meals are filling to actually avoid real hunger later in the day. Essentially, you want to break this feedback loop, and once you do that, that false hunger just disappears. Now, I told you there's going to be some bonuses at the end, and here they are. Fake hunger. Everybody goes through fake hunger. Fake hunger shows up when you're not actually hungry. This can come from being dehydrated, not drinking enough water, bored, or tired. If you're home all day and you're bored, don't have anything to do, what are you going to do? Probably walk to the fridge, open the doors up, look in there, see what's in there. Anything appetizing in there at all? If not, and close the door. Let's go look in the cabinets, right? That's boredom hunger. Same can be for when you're tired, right? Your brain confuses thirst or low stimulation for hunger, pushing you to snack without actually needing to snack in the first place. Again, it's fake hunger. It's just out of boredom, essentially. Um, I've done this several times, and a simple self-check that can help you actually determine if you're really hungry or if this is fake hunger, is asking yourself, you know what? If I'm really hungry, do I want to eat some plain grilled chicken and plain broccoli right now? If not, then you're probably not hungry, right? If that doesn't sound appetizing to you at all, and you're like, no, I don't want grilled chicken or, plain broccoli. I want like a piece of cake or something. Then that's fake hunger. Um, you're bored. You're eating for some sort of stimulation, or you're dehydrated. Um, always the first go to is to drink a little bit of water first, wait 10 to 15 minutes. If that hunger signal is still there, then ask yourself this question. That's kind of what I do. So now, what do you do if you have these random bouts of hunger and you're trying to really differentiate? Are you hungry or what's the deal, right? So if your hunger feels random or just out of control, don't just eat less. You need to figure out what type of hunger is driving it to further fix that issue, right? Because each type has a different fix. And once you address that root cause, fat loss gets way easier. Once you can manage that hunger, fat loss gets way easier. People fall off their fat loss diets because of hunger. Once we manage that hunger, again, fat loss just gets easier. So if it's hormonal hunger, get more sleep. manage your stress more, and avoid extreme restriction. If it's blood sugar hunger, eat more balanced meals, balanced with protein, carbs, and adequate fats. Cut all the processed sugar crap out and stop grazing all day. Have set meals. You don't want your insulin levels spiking and crashing and spiking and crashing all day. Have set meals. Quit eating 5 meals a day and then snacking for, have 4 bouts of snacking all day because then your body is just running all the time, essentially. Um, and then if it's habitual hunger, just break the pattern. Just rip the band-aid off, essentially. Delay the urge. If it's a reward style hunger, swap the reward. Now, when you dial this in, you'll stop overeating without needing willpower. You'll feel full and satisfied after your meals, and you'll finally control those cravings instead of being ruled by them. So, at the end all be all, there are three main types of hunger. You have hormonal, blood sugar, habitual driven, and then, like I said, the fake hunger as the bonus at the end. But what it really boils down to is the majority of the time, your hunger levels are lying to you. Most of the time, our body does not need extra food. We're missing something, which is then giving us a signal to one of these three, and maybe even the bonus one, right? So at the end of the day, keep in mind that hunger is one of the most least reliable sources when it comes to losing fat. So the next time that you're hungry, sit back, start to think, all right, could this be hormonal, blood sugar, habitual driven, and whatever option that you think that it is, use those fixes to fix that and then go from there. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and please share this with somebody who may need it. I'll talk to you guys next time.